Among the stars, the Ashen fly. Beneath, the 9 realms move among the Tree of Worlds' many branches. Proudly standing upon the darkness, its roots delving into caverns where light will never venture. It was when a single great Ashen flew down to rest upon her boughs that the light woke among the realms. After eons, the great Ashen grew weak with age and fell from the Tree of Worlds, resting upon the plains of darkness, drawing what few breaths remained. In the throes of death, the light dimmed, and the Ashen's final 3 breaths became the 3 golden ages of light. The first age saw 3 creatures of the dark plains rise above all others. The Elder Dark fed upon the light and thrived. The second marked the coming of the Listener matriarchs, titans who revered the light. The third breath was the age of man, Geffin's children. When the final breath ended, there would be a time of darkness. In that black age, the cities of man fell into ruin, toppled by war and emptied by pestilence and famine. Proud Lathyrus drowned beneath the ash. From dust to flesh, from darkness to radiance. Soon the Ashen will be reborn from the ruins of its old body, and a new age of light will begin. I served the Ashen long ago, a guardian to its waning light, even though it broke me with its brilliance. Now, look to the mountain peak, for that is where fresh hope blooms. The Ashen is reborn. Behold, the first glimmer of the light that will sweep the darkness from these plains. The cliffs ahead should provide a good vantage point. Beware, the rebirth of the Ashen will be violent.
Round, round the fires, round, round, round. 1 and 2 stand with the lives.
There are those that thrive in perpetual night and would extinguish these fledgling rays. We must find the Ashen and protect it from the Elder Dark. What a sight! Our world once more bathed in Ashen light. You have felt the power of the Ashen and survived. We will need that strength of yours. The Ashen is still a sleeping child, vulnerable. We must wake it from its slumber. Before we begin our journey, we must bind your spirit to a ritual stone. If misadventure takes you, the stone will act as a beacon from beyond death's veil. There's a ritual stone nearby, in the district called Vagrant's Rest. But I will need my hammer and spark to awaken it. You must find them.
Barteron's hammer and spark. Most likely the vagrants have them. They're thieves and scavengers. They'll steal anything that's not chained down.
Give me my hammer, so I might awaken this sleeping stone. Touch the spark to the ritual stone. Bind your spirit to this place. I have searched these foothills and found no sign of the Ashen. We must consult Geffen of the Birthing Waters. She will know where to look. Geffen can be found bathing within the Annex of Light. Bridge the waters and strike out for the cliffs. There lies your way in.
Do you dream? In my sleep, I hear my brother's voice. He once traveled this way with my father. I wasn't with them. Ahu was eldest, so it was his duty alone. Now he echoes through my slumber, calling to me. Each time is the same. He stands atop an old listener ruin, calling to me. I have found the ruin by the lakeside.
The darkness hungers within these buried halls. Take this lantern, lest the starving shadows consume you. To walk alone into darkness is to walk in the company of death.
The darkness has taken so many. Please, may I have Ahu's lockbox? So, this is all that remains of my brother's life. A crimson gourd and a crumbling map. The map. Touch the spark to the ritual stone, and the crimson sap will flow. The crimson sap is the very lifeblood of the earth, healing and invigorating. If you find me the right materials, I can fortify your gourd at my work table. A fortified gourd can hold more sap. I once rested from my wanderings with a woman who made gourds for her living. I helped her, and she taught me how to fortify a gourd to hold more sap. Barteron is getting weaker. How long will it be before he loses his other arm? He used to live with a woman named Vorsa. She went off to search for a cure. I saw a woman who matched Vorsa's description near Placid Stream. Maybe for Barteron's sake, we should try to track her down. Barteron is tight-lipped when it comes to Vorsa. Something bad happened between them. I'm sure this woman I saw was Vorsa. She was headed for the cave where we fell.
Greetings. I am Vorsa. Have you seen how the deer move towards the light? They are drawn to the flame that now fills our sky. But that same flame fills me with dread. I've seen you with Barteron. He has a knack for taking in strays. He had 2 arms back then. The sickness will take the other if I don't stop it. Vorsa's the name. And yes, I'm out here hunting for a cure. You see, Bateron's not the only one who is sick. I have a few symptoms. So do most folk. Animals, too. The shorter the lifespan, the faster the illness shows up. Not every animal gets sick, though. That's why I hunt them. To find out why. The Einar roam the Eye of the Needle, hunting raffets and stray vagrants. 3 heads should do the trick. I want to see how the light affects their eyes and ears.
Geffen gave birth to humanity in the 3rd Golden Age. We are but wide-eyed children, begging for the wisdom of an ancient mother. If we strike out into the unknown too soon, we shall forget what we have already learned. Beyond the waters and beneath the cliffs, that's where our enlightenment awaits.
Through studying Bateron, I have learned to spot the light's telltale marks. A blemish here, a twitch of the eye there. Early signs not to be ignored. Now hand me those Einar heads so I can take a good look at them. Their eyes and ears will tell me much. Brains, too, once I crack open these skulls. See these raised blemishes on the ears and nose? Signs of sickness, for sure. These Einar seem no more resistant than you or I. A good hunter needs a good spear, and my spears are better than most. Come see my workbench. There might be a spear with your name on it. Bateron is strong, but the sickness is proving stronger. We must hurry. There's a beast that stands taller than a listener. It digs into the ash. A corb. These creatures can survive and even thrive in the ash of the stormed ruins. I've watched them spit their bile into the ash before digging. That bile is our key. A corb is a tough beast to bring down, especially one from the stormed ruins. And that strength is our clue. How can they be so hardy while surrounded by sickness?
Thanks for helping with Vorsa. I hope Bateron doesn't mind us asking her to come. Maybe we can help her find a cure. I would hate to lose him just as the light has returned. Ahu still haunts my dreams. Now he urges me to find our father, Vaughn. He and Ahu were very secretive about where they were going. Ahu's map is our only clue. There's a mark on the map at the Eye of the Needle. To abandon my brother like that, my father must have been desperate. Whatever he was looking for, he clearly thought he'd find it at the Eye of the Needle. I think my family must be cursed. My father, my brother, and now me. Let me see what my father wrote in his notebook. I need to understand this misery. So, it is as I feared. There was a curse placed upon our bloodline, but Vaughn doesn't say what the curse entails. Vaughn writes of a wraith, an ancestor of ours. Her name was Kala, and she lived by the sea. He thought she might hold the secret to breaking this blood-bound affliction. My father and brother died trying to save me from an ancient curse. Now, it's up to me. If I ever have children of my own, I want them to be free of the sins of our ancestors. Wraiths often linger in a place that was once important to them. Kala was a fisherwoman, so maybe we should look for her along the shore of the A fishing village once huddled among the great buildings along the shore. Kala's wraith might still linger there, pining after her former life.
You're proving to be quite the accomplished hunter. Now, if you'd like to hand me that pot of bile, carefully now. I'll see what it's about. Thank you. I'll get to tinkering with this vial straight away. Might be that it cleanses the ash somehow, dissolving the dregs of light. While I'm fingers deep in noxious goop, you best go hunting again. Yokel mentioned some Einar in the hillside so sickened that they even glow. I took a look, and there's a lone hound that seems to grow, while the others sicken. Its den is by the lake, below the cliffs. Bring me its tail so I can sample its fluids.
You have slain an Elder Dark. That is surprising. You have earned the right to see the Mother of the Birthing Waters, if you wish. Gethin, this traveler has come to seek your wisdom.
The Ashen is reborn, and the remaining Elder Dark will seek its end. To prevent this doom, you must seek out the heart of Lethyrus. The heart was crafted long ago, when listener and human were united in hope. It captured and focused the light of the Ashen, and allowed them to commune with it. When the Ashen died, human and listener blamed each other. Matriarch Amiren sundered the heart and took the listener half to protect her people. If you wish to protect the Ashen from the Elder Dark, you must to help you in your quest. I give to you this echo. Amara was once...
You claimed a reward from your battle in the Annex. However, I sense a great darkness within it. May I see it? 3 Elder Dark once stalked these benighted lands. Now there are but 2. I'm sure. As you can see, I have created an anvil upon which to forge the ash. Bring your weapons to the anvil, so that I may reforge them and make them stronger.
As the light washes the ugliness from our world, the desperate shadows grow more dangerous. You cannot fight the shadows without my help. Only I can draw the light from your scoria. Here, take this talisman to my weaving table, and I will show you how it is done. By the light, you absolutely stink. Which is rather good news for me. You carry the glue I need to repair the damage that a koto did to my lyre. My lyre allows me to weave light and sound, to feel the very edges of the world. As soon as I repair the damage that a koto did to it, I can be by the light. That glue reeks like the breath of an elder dark. I should thank you. The smell will dissipate once the glue hardens. As soon as it does, I will weave light and sound to find the twin hearts. Lathyrus was so different in the golden age of light. Great houses and avenues stretched from here to the Featherlands.
Geffen wishes us to recover the heart of Lathyrus? Then you must travel deeper into this desolate city. The Whispers would be a good place to start. Matriarch Amiren took shelter there after she sundered the heart. The road to the Whispers has been blocked by listeners loyal to the Matriarch. We must find a way through, and I believe I know of one who might help us. There is a new arrival in the stormed ruins. She is from the Whispers. When you meet her, you will realize why she was so easy for me to hear. My ears tell me that our visitor from the Whispers is on the far side of the river. Be wary, for you will need to traverse the stormed ruins in order to reach her.
Watch it there, vagrant! I've got a barrel and I'm not afraid to use it! Wait, I'm no skagging vagrant. In that case, maybe you and me can strike a deal. I don't make a habit of traveling by barrel. The pass is impassable, so this is the only way. And the pass is all bunged up by a listener called Gowron, see? He's got some unholy mix of stones and shadows that we can't even see, let alone touch. I need to fetch me a seeing stone and a heartbone rod for smashing mirages. An old monastery should have a stone, and the rods were kept in town squares as wards.
It seems as though Isla's aims align with ours, at least for the time being. Some lively company will make it easier to bear the gravity of our purpose. You wish to know more about the heart of Lathyrus? For centuries we basked in the Ashen light, oblivious to the sickness it visited upon us. Matriarch Amiren is my elder sister. She fought hard to protect our people. She stole the heart and sundered it, keeping what was listener and discarding what was human. Then Amiren led those who would follow her into the cool and soothing dark. Amiren was once a great leader. Now she is a mere tyrant. She rules from the depths of despair, blind to the damage she does.
These rocks aren't what they seem, but that don't mean they won't hurt you if you run into them. So let's see what them nifty artifacts you found can do, eh? Touch both rod and stone to the wall, and those rocks should blow away like ash in the wind. Reckoning, the job is only half done. Let's go disillusion old Garoran before he makes a new blockade. Open, and we got to ride a Diasaura pup! That was more fun than a wet fish in a pot full of eyeballs! That crimson gourd of yours is pretty sweet, but... I like the chops of this town you're setting up. Reckon I'll stick around for a bit. Before I get too comfy, though, there's something I need to sort out. The pass to the Whispers is open, but my tribe still haven't come through. There was meant to be an escape, but I reckon it got trampled by those listener thugs again. Gararon's kin, see? They got me tribe wrapped up tight in their chains. We've got to find Granny Nella and ask her what happened. She'll be in Hillside, somewhere.
You're one of Isla's new fancy friends, eh? Well, here's a sorry fishing tale for you. Me tribe's been hooked and landed by 3 of its Ake led the listeners past our defenses while we was watching the bloomin' light. Listeners made him cheap, and no one's strong enough to say otherwise. Except you, mate. Ake's the bully boy, and Fiske keeps his axe nice and sharp. Corey hatched the whole nasty business. He's run off with a bad case of the gills now.
As far as I could tell from, that hound had no obvious signs of illness. Please, give me the tail so I can sample its fluids, see what's going on there. The tail's sinews are strong, its blood is vital, and its secretions are pungent. Time to sharpen the boning knife and stoke the fire. This should be interesting. Yokel asked me how I knew Bataran was alive, even in the darkness. Foolish man. I always know where Bataran is. Our hearts are joined.
dancing and lording it down by the whispers. Let's go and poke a big hole in that there bloated puffer fish.
Blood of my blood, I see the curse stirring around him. He hears our voices strongly now. A relic was lost, a cursed veil. I failed, but you must not. Search the ruins upon the cliffs that gaze across the sea. We live, we die, we return in shadow. Until you break the curse, Yokel is doomed to his fate. Help him find the veil. I know there is an item of power nearby, but I can no longer reach it.
Now, hand me Ake's lure so I can keep it from falling into the wrong hands again. In me tribe, a lure is given to you when you comes of age. It's your pride and joy. Ake had the blood of chiefs in his veins and the brains of a fangfish in his skull. This lure will go to a young one. Someone strong, like Ake, but with a better noggin. Not sure where Fiske is hiding. I'll ask around the folks you freed from Ake. In the meantime, you know what this town of yours needs? Contraptions. You know, lamps and spinning wheels and such. And I knows just where to look. Flokir, a tinker, keeps his stash in a cave by the whispers. Go have a nosy, eh?
Dark news indeed. If Kala speaks the truth, then Vaughn and Ahu share her fate. They're out there somewhere. Shadows, hungering for their stolen rest. I have to find this umbral veil if I'm to free my kin from the shadows. Yet, so much time has passed since Ball went searching for it along the cliff tops. It's a stone-cold trail, but the only one we have to follow. If Ball did find the veil, it might be with her still.
I am Sillerin, sister to this matriarch, yet neither friend nor ally. I knew this day would come for Amiren. Heartless as it sounds, I wish it had come sooner. Butteran sent you? Then I would be honored to join you at this vagrant's rest of yours. Before that, I shall reward you for freeing me from my sister's grim fears. Now that I am free, I can use these pathways, and I can help you do the same. But first, I need an artifact. The cunning pestle. The pestle was stolen away by a pair of cowards during your battle with Amiren. Twin deviants named Tuma and Suma. You'll find their crumbling stronghold above the Whispers. Kindly fetch the pestle for me while I follow the shadows back to Vagrant's Rest. Now, would you like to see the fast way out?
I lost Amiren a long time ago. I had given up hope of regaining Sillerin. Yes, Sillerin has suffered at Amiren's hand. That much is terribly clear. It will be some time before she is her old self again. I will do what I can to help. Now, please, take the listener heart to Amara. She will know what to do with it. Amara will spin threads of light and sound until the human heart of Lathyrus is...
In one breath, you have taken a sister and returned a sister. Impressive. You have the listener heart as well, I see. Give it to me, so I can continue the search. The twin hearts are linked, so I should be able to follow the thread connecting them. But a knot of darkness prevents it. Somewhere between the hillside and the Featherlands. I cannot cut through the shadows that lie behind the hillside. It is a knot so tangled, so intricate, it might as well be Cisna's own web. My people shunned Cisna's work, the spinning of deceits and shadows. Instead, we watched from afar, unraveling her dark ways with eye and mind. Our observations were inscribed on tablets and locked away within the halls of Cliffa. To pierce Cisna's tangle, we must venture to those fallen halls and find the ark. The halls of Cliffa once stood upon the hills and overlooked the sea. A calm and beautiful place. A perfect refuge from studying the light.
The twins didn't give you too much trouble. Now give me the cunning pestle, so I may open the world of shadow for you. Feel the restful darkness flow through your veins. Now you may travel the pathways of shadow. Before you go, come to my brewing stand. There are some recipes I might concoct for you, should you bring me the right ingredients.
I can use the cunning pestle to grind various powerful ingredients. Come to my brewing stand, and I will show you what I need. I have not told Bataran this, but Amiren's prison was as subtle as it was cruel. She smothered me in wards that blinded my eyes and dulled my nose and fingers. I need my senses restored if I am to brew potions with any degree of prowess. To regain my full sight, I need Riak's talon. Of all the Elder Dark, my sister sometimes mentioned the talon during her mad mutterings. The Twisted Canyon, that's where she said it fell long ago. When the Ashen fell, each Elder Dark sought to consume it. War followed. Akoto tore great Riak's talon free and cast it into the Twisted Canyon. In honor of their sacrifice, they glow with a mark of dedication. The mark is key. Throw a spear to pierce a monk's glowing heart, and it will draw you into the shadows. Riak was a seer above all else, a creature of boundless perception. Ground into a powder with the pestle, his talon will liberate my shackled eyes. Please give me the talon so that I might free my eyes of my sister's accursed ward. Thank you. The ripples of your kindness will spread far indeed. Now, I have been researching some new potion recipes, if you would care to take a look. Blessed light! The talon of Riak has brought the world back into sharp relief. But my nose is still blocked by Amiren's wards. I can barely smell even the strongest herbs. The spinner's cauldron will steam open my nostrils. Not to mention that it will help me brew far more potent potions for you. Thieving Akoto stole Cisna's beloved cauldron during the Elder Dark War. He hid it away from her, perhaps in the same Twisted Canyon where he tossed the talon.
The halls of Cliffa were built in the name of wisdom. I weep to witness what we have lost. Please, give me the archive tablet. It is some small comfort amongst the sorrow. Thank you. Let's see what Cisna can teach us. Somewhere in these gloomy words, I will find a way to cut through the dark weave.
My tools! Oh, Daddy sure has missed you, my little darlings. Thank you so much for your help. Now, if you would kindly hand them over. I'm in your debt, and I pride myself on being a man who always pays what he owes. Perhaps a wind-powered mushroom picker to begin with. Got plenty of mouths to feed here. Seems you find yourself in some pretty dark places, so I think a new lantern is in order. I've written up a list of components for you. It's on my workbench. Maybe take a look? Since you did such a bang-up job on recovering my kit, fancy recovering my kin? My sister Lyra has been keeping some particularly unpleasant company these days. She's with the canyon folk, huddling in the dark, worshipping the likes of Cisna. But she's a sensible girl at heart. Lyra's just been led astray, that's all. She'd be here right now if it wasn't for that shadow-loving chief of theirs, whispering poison in her ears. He is. Remove him, and Lyra will soon see the light. I lost my leg trying to rescue Lyra, and I was lucky not to lose a lot more. Made the mistake of reasoning with her. No chance there until that chief stops his jabbering.
Smell the blood, taste it. Another sacrifice to Malik Khal's curse. I searched for the umbral veil, but it was not here, and the claws of darkness took my life. It was our ancestor Malik Khal who began this legacy of pain and undeath. It was his duty to sacrifice a child to Riak, eldest of the Elder Dark, in exchange for peace in the dark. But something went wrong. Malik never... You must find our lost ancestor, Malik Khal. Search the edge of the palace where it could... Yokel's fate is entwined with the fate of the relic. So long as it remains lost, so will he. Our ancestor Malik, who began the curse, can be found in the Forgotten Wing.
Thanks to you, I am closer to breaking this curse than any who have come before me. Had I traveled with my father and Ahu, my journey would have ended as theirs did. When I was a boy, my father told me stories of our ancestral home. It was in the Featherlands, in the shadow of the Lothyrian palace. That's where Malik will be. I dread what we must do when we find this great-grandfather of mine. I hope that some trace of the man lingers within the wraith. Once again, Ahu haunts my dreams. He was standing at the head of a majestic pool. Though he did not speak, I know it must be our ancient household.
Without Fiske and these sparking spears, my tribe can be proper free now. Now, you mind handing Fiske's lure over? I'm keen to find it a better home. Honestly, can't fathom what went wrong with them boys, Ake and Fiske. I reckons there's some shadowy whisperings behind all this. Mark my words. Now that the business of salvation is done and dusted, let's get on to the personal stuff. That Corey, what thought this whole fracas up, he needs to pay for what he started. Don't know whether you'd call this justice or vengeance, really. To me mind, it don't matter either way. It all ends the same, don't it? This slimy worm has managed to slither his way into the good books of a Letharian clan. He's tucked up nice and cozy in their fort near the Bronzed Mire. Fancy some snake hunting?
So you found the chief, but there was no sign of Lyra. That's a bit unsettling. Let me see that note of hers. Perhaps she's had a change of heart and escaped on her own. It's written in the Darkling script, and... oh no, this is bad. Very bad. Lyra isn't just part of the cult now. She's their blooming high priestess. As soon as she could walk, Lyra was messing around with plants and fungus. Such was her talent that some varieties would grow and change at a mere touch. And it's the foregone that worries me most. A fungus that brings new life to old bones. Her note talks of a promise to Cisna, and apparently she's gone to the Bronzed Mire to do some experiments. Sure, Lyra dabbled in some foregone culturing, animated the odd raffet carcass for fun, but nothing like this. It's a foul thing to create a foregone from what was once a person.
I have learned much from that archive tablet you found. I feared that Cisna's dark arts had corrupted Silleran, but the tablet said I spoke with Silleran, and she showed me how one may weave shadow without fear. No, I did not find, but through Cisna's blackened threads, I felt the tremors of Geffin's dreams. The
Bataran and I talked about the core bile and decided it's too caustic to use. The Houndtail, however, now that's more promising. And now Silleran's told me of another great beast in the Bronzed Mire, a Romar. Romar horn holds some powerful medicine, and this Romar seems untouched by light sickness. We are able to harvest this Romar horn. Silleran will grind and brew it into a potion. After that, the greatest challenge begins. Talking Bataran into trying it. Know that Bataran has less faith than I in finding a cure. I must simply have enough faith for the both of us.
Yes. Give me the cauldron so that I might once again enjoy the fragrances of this world. And of course, brew more potent potions to aid you in our hunt for the Ashen. Thank you. Long have I dreamt of this moment. After all, a decantress is of little use without her sense of smell. Beautiful sights and rich smells are again mine to enjoy. Thanks to you. Yet my numb fingers still fumble like drunken fools. A world seed will nourish and invigorate my deadened digits. Amiren had one, but she gave it to her executioner, a brutal listener named Toleran. With my sister's death, he will have fled to the Featherlands, his home. Find him and take the seed from his dead hands. World seeds are rare indeed. An entire forest will produce just one in its long lifetime. If I need one, you must understand how desperate I am.
That's a fine piece of Romar you have there. And look, not a single speck of light blight. If hounds in Romar can grow resistant to the light, perhaps we can too. You are as kind as you are strong, my friend. I'll take the horn to Sillerin. But first, there's something I must tell you. Something that troubles me. Sillerin has doubts about there being a cure for Bateran. She thinks our work could help others, but Bateran has been sick for too long. Why would his own sister give up hope like that? No, I won't accept it. I've spoken with Amara about it, and she told me of the Mother Scale. Geffen once gave one of her scales to her dying lover, a listener man. It restored him. Amara has traced the scale to a ruin in the Bronzed Mire. Please, we have to find it. Amara told me something else, too. That light and dark need not be at odds. I suppose Geffen's a good example of that. Floating between shimmer and shadow.
Well, I'll be a new-hatched skeglet. That there's our squirming friend's lure. Pass it over, if you please. I'll find a worthier owner than that gory skeghead ever was. Thanks to you, me tribe is free. And that trifling trio is all eating humble dirt pie. The Ashen might have gave us light, but you gave us something better. Hope. Granny Nana taught me two things good and proper. Fishing and fighting. Once you got them two sorted, life goes a whole lot easier.
You are stronger now, child of mine. In spirit, in body, and in the company you keep. Amara was right to offer my help, for the designs of an Elder Dark are arrayed against you. I have untangled Cisna's weave, so we can see what she was trying to hide from us. He clutches it like a lost child to his breast, deep within the palace of Lathyrus. Take it from him, and then bring both hearts to my most sacred of pools. Amara knows where.
seeks me in the cursed darkness of my shame. I did my duty, though it broke my heart. But Lady Amaris, little Ishra, I took her to Riok, eldest of the 3 Elder Dark. In return, the Dark One gifted me the Umbral Veil. As I carried it from the deepest corners of the land, it permeated my soul, whispering of power to put an end to death, enough to hold the encroaching darkness at bay. Truthfully, I coveted the Umbral Veil by the time I returned triumphant. The shadow of the Ashen pried the veil from my hands and banished me to walk. There is but one way to clear our curse and grant rest to our line. Defeat the shadow of the Ashen and remove the vile Umbral Veil from the Thyrus. Such a trusting child, so kind. She gave me her doll, so I would not be sad. I left her there.
Ahu came to me in my dreams, this time to say goodbye. Our father was there too. I've never seen them so happy. I awoke, grinning like a fool, my cheeks wet with tears. The curse is gone. I can feel it, as surely as I can feel the light on my face. And Malik, he left something, didn't he? Please, do me this one last favor. Show it to me. This shield. It was once the symbol of our noble house. Ahu drew it for me one day. It's yours now, my friend. My family has a future again. We don't need the past. As I explore this land, I hope to uncover more relics from the past. We have so many stories. I'd like to see if some of them are true.
Ah, well, Lyra's clearly sticking to the shadows. She must know we're on to her. Now, there's a curious thing. Is that a leg bone you have there? May I see it? Well, I'll be a tinker's cuss. That's my leg bone. And look, that's some foregone fungus growing on it. My sister's been tinkering with me. Oh dear, I've just had a rather nasty thought. Lyra might be making a foregone flock here. Foregone feed on bits of soul left in bones, and it learns as it eats. The situation gets even nastier when you learn that I once made war machines for Amiren. And Foregone, with my tinkering nous, would soon learn to make contraptions of woe. Lyra has my milk teeth, collected as keepsakes. There's talent aplenty in those little bones. We have to find her. She'll be in the Featherlands still, somewhere deep and dark.
It's a shame about Talaran. A great talent wasted on petty cruelty. Now give me the world seed, so that I might grind it up and brew a remedy for my fingers. This seed, an abundance of life imprisoned within a tiny cell. I shall give this life its freedom, just as you have given me mine. You are less incompetent than I first expected. I look forward to us working together some more.
Geffen has opened the way to the palace tower. where the shadow of the Ashen awaits. I can hear the dark threads pull taut within. I fear that we are expected. There is something you should know. The shadow of the Ashen is my father. As the Ashen faded, he became obsessed with the light. It cost him everything. To my shame, I was not there to aid him as our beloved Lathyrus succumbed to the dark.
Lyra's still out there somewhere, but at least we've foiled her forgone Flokir plans. Now, would you mind if I had my milk teeth back? Thank you. I didn't exactly fancy meeting myself in a dark alley someday. Oh, my poor, misguided Lyra. All I wanted was to save her from herself. It seems that my most dreaded of moments has arrived. A dark decision indeed. The safety of many, or the life of my sister. I honestly don't think there's much left of the Lyra I knew. Cisna has seen to that. Lyra will be deep in the gnaw by now, harvesting forgone. So... Lyra always had a thirst for knowledge that some would call unsavory. Perhaps that darkling desire was there all along, growing like fungus upon her bones.
The mother scale is so beautiful. See how it captures both light and shadow. And the power. You can feel it in the air. Please, give it to me. It will take me some time to study the mother scale, to extract its power. Bateron has lived a long time. I only hope he can wait a little bit longer. Amara is less knowledgeable than I would have expected for a seer. I asked her to help clean a deer. She stared at me like I had grown a pair of rabbit ears.
There is no father of mine beyond that door. I hear only the murmuring threads of shadow. Please, let us cut those cruel strings and take back the human heart. I stopped mourning my father long ago. This was a mere shadow of the man I knew. His heart is silent, while the human heart beats on. We must carry both hearts down a path only the bravest may travel. Geffen awaits us in the Gnaw, a place of great power and great danger. Pass through those doors to the portal beyond. I have watched you. You are ready. Have no fear as you leap into the darkness. I will find you on the other side. We are at a point of no return. Ahead of us, the Gnaw awaits, ever dark and ever hungry. Geffen has chosen a place of true power. The Elder Dark know that too, though Geffen's pool is radiant with hope that only makes the night ahead even darker. Light is a stranger here now. This is an ancient night, and its children are strong. We walk in the realm of the Elder Dark now. I can feel Cisna's web folding in around us. Geffen awaits us at the sacred pool, deep in the Gnaw. Over the eons, both light and dark have come here to slake their thirsts and grow. Geffen could not have chosen a better place in which to mend the sundered hearts. There is great power at the end of the Gnaw. We simply must get there. This thick and smothering weave of darkness. This is Cisna's work. Only she could spin such deep shadows.
You continue to grow, young one. Your footsteps resound upon the ash. Now, have you come to me with empty hands, or palms full of promise? Two hearts ripped apart by selfishness and fear. Two hearts brought together by friendship and courage. Now take the heart of Lathyrus to your sanctuary. Give it to Amara. She will know how to use it to find the Ashen. Before you go, child, know that your mother is proud of you. As Lathyrus fell, I lost faith in my children. You, brave one, have restored that faith. Two hearts ripped apart by selfishness and fear. Two hearts brought together by friendship and courage.
That wasn't Lyra. Her body, her face, yes, but not her mind, not her spirit. And the cowl she wore, may I have it? I'd like something to remember her by. I know it's a somber reminder, yet I've plenty enough memories of her youth, her smile. To truly remember a person, you must recall the dark as much as the light.
The heart of Lathyrus, made whole once more. I had hoped, but not dared to believe. Give me the heart. It is time we found the Ashen. Time we welcomed the light. After the battles we have fought, the journeys we have endured, this is but a tiny moment. The heart, there it is, of course so close, hiding in the plainest of sight, yet nowhere to be seen. In the caves beneath this very mountain peak, deep within the ash. Go to Bateron now, so that he may prepare the ceremony of awakening. And thank you, while I have been asking for the light's blessing, you have given your blessing to the light. I cannot help but fret over the fate of my darling Ishra. I followed her trail here, but lost it in the Annex of Light.
We have nothing to fear now. The shadows cower and flee from the approaching dawn.
Amara has found the Ashen. It is difficult to grasp that our moment has finally come. We shall awaken the Ashen and return its life-giving radiance to our dying world. It is astounding that the fledgling was practically beneath our feet this whole time. Just as well, I suppose. We are far from the dark here. The shadows are at their weakest. Now, I judged it wise that you should only know this when you were truly ready. I have served the Ashen as guardian for longer than I care to remember. When it awakens, it will choose its guardian once more. I will continue to serve, if it wishes. But its eye may alight upon another. That other might even be you.
We have nothing to fear now. The shadows cower and flee from the approaching dawn.
This final path will test us all. Prepare well before you enter the caverns nearby. If the Elder Dark are devoted to stopping us, they will soon show their hand.
Bateron and I must travel ahead, taking paths only the listener heart will allow. We shall prepare the awakening ritual and await your arrival. Until then.
Welcome to our final and greatest act. The preparations are complete. Let us now awaken the Ashen together. Watch the Ashen's eye as I inscribe these sacred runes. It will choose a guardian from among us, its strongest and most loyal protectors. Its guardian. It has chosen you.
You lived like a fool and died like a fool, Bataran. It is time you learned my true name, child. For I consumed Bataran's darling little sister long ago. I am the foreboding dust. I am the beguiling night. I am Cisna, the spinner of shadows.
Wander no more, for the Ashen sees you, and the bright light that burns within. You are the Guardian. It is a heavy mantle to bear, yet I know you have the courage to carry it. I leave knowing that humanity will protect the Ashen for as long as the light endures. Do not mourn my passing, for my echo will ever linger in this world. The threads that bind us are strong, spun as they are in this new age of light.